Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whichever part of the world you're from. This is Kavita Ramchand from Life Success Coaching in Mauritius. So I'm continuing to read the book You Were Born Rich, phenomenal book written by Bob Proctor because everyone is born rich, whether we know it or not. And the purpose of our life is to actually discover how rich we are. I would say if that's one goal you want to set in your life, set it out right now because you want to find out how amazing you are as a human being, how much potential you have in you to create the life you want to live. So I'm going to continue reading now. We are on chapter 9, which is called Don't Think in Reverse. And if you have missed chapters 1 and above, you can go back to my videos on YouTube where I take 10 sessions, 10-minute sessions approximately every Tuesday and every Thursday. And I also read it in the local language here, Creole, so you can choose which one you want to watch. So today's story is a little bit long, so I won't delay to start it. And it's a great story. You want to hear it. So this is about Patty's cruise. Okay, so Patty Moore first came to my seminar. So Bob is saying that she first came to his seminar with her parents when she was only 11 years old. By the age of 15, she was already speaking in the seminars and sharing with the audience the manner in which her concept in the seminar had moved her from failing miserably in French at school to honors grades and in a relatively short period of time. To boot, 5 years later, she was working with me in the seminar business. One day, I noticed her attitude seemed to be slipping badly, and it appeared to me that she was not enjoying herself one iota. Not these Note that these are the first telltale symptoms of an individual who is without a goal. I cannot tell you how this is important because I myself reached that stage where I wanted to achieve my next goal, but I just didn't know what was stopping me. If you know what's stopping you, it's a different thing. I didn't know what was stopping me. I had to find out, and what I found out was so life changing because you when you're living the rich life and suddenly you start to go spiraling negatively and you want to go forward and you don't know what's pulling you back, you want to find out what is it that I really want next, my goal. And sometimes you're not getting what you want because there's a good reason. The universe knows better than you what is meant for you. So if you sorry, my phone's ringing. I'll just cut the call now. I'll just make it silent. So if you know what is meant for you, you will get that. But you have to discover it sometimes. So I asked her what it is that she really wanted, and her immediate response was, "What do you mean by that?" So I explained to her that since she wasn't working towards anything, she didn't have anything to look forward to. And this made life extremely difficult, to say the least. Then she said, "I don't have any money, so I can't do anything." I reminded her, however, that it doesn't cost even one penny to want or to dream. A radiant smile suddenly came across Patty's face, and she told me that what she wanted more than anything else was to go on a South Sea cruise. I said to her, "That would probably be a lot of fun." I told her that I had done it a number of times myself, and I described to her how beautiful it was. I also expressed my expectation that she would have a truly marvelous time. I pointed out, moreover, that she would retain the memories from the trip for the rest of her life, and she could then relive them over and over again whenever she desired. At this juncture, I asked her what was holding her back. Again, the same response was forthcoming from Patty. "I don't have any money." This type of negative thinking had been crippling her by preventing her from undertaking something in her life, which she felt was very important. But the real reason I bring this story up here is to illustrate that even though Patty was mature, had no ties, and had no real reason not to go on the trip, her own thinking was holding her back from doing so. Clearly, she was a young lady who was thinking in reverse. She had thoroughly convinced herself it was a lack of finances which thwarted her desire. But of course, that just wasn't the case. Nevertheless, whatever the source of her real frustration may have been, it was certainly holding her back from realizing her dream. Understand that untold numbers of people are making the same error Patty made daily, and it is a great tragedy. Perhaps you have been making this same error in your own life. If you have, I hope Patty's story will be the inspiration you need to get you moving in the direction you wish to go. In any case, one day Patty and I went to lunch together and we had a very serious discussion. I said, "Listen, Patty, if you really want to go on a cruise, you must quit looking back or looking at what is. Because looking at the present results is a very common form of thinking in reverse. You must commence to look ahead and you must start applying what we profess in the seminars. So go ahead and book your trip. Make definite plans and don't give one thought to anything going wrong. Know that whatever you need for your goal to materialize will begin to be attracted to you as soon as you accept the idea that you are going and making definite plans to do so. If it is money that you need, you will have it. It might not all be in place until the very last moment, but if you see it and you believe it and you expect it, you most certainly will receive it. You know, no, let me continue. There's still one more. I won't bore you with the details of how things all came together, but I will tell you they came together in wondrous and unexpected ways. Eventually, Patty actually attracted more money than she required for her trip. I was at the airport at approximately 6 a.m. with Patty's parents on the morning that she left, and it was a tremendously gratifying experience for me to see her face aglow with nervous excitement. Suffice it to say, she went on her cruise. She had enough courage to travel alone, and she enjoyed a trip which she will surely remember all the days of her life. But what is even more important than the trip itself is the awareness Patty gained from the experience. For she now knows through her own personal experience that if you think in reverse, you will only see reasons why you can't. However, if you will but look into the future with a positive, even expectant attitude, you will see that you can do. Patty will be able to apply this awareness towards the achievement of all her future wishes. See, when you are looking forward, okay, in life, when you're looking forward because that's your goal, you don't have to know how things are going to happen. You have to have that much faith that they will happen. And it's not something you can easily explain, because I have been through both. And I can tell you that when you are afraid of how something will happen, you will always be in that state of fear. And if you keep at it, you'll become very good at becoming afraid of everything. Because what we practice, we become good at. And if a person practices thinking in reverse, well, they'll become good at thinking in reverse, which I had done. I was thinking in reverse all the time, feeling sorry for myself after my brother passed away. What happened? I just spiraled. And thanks to the coaching I did with Bob Proctor, I started thinking positive. And one led to the other, until I came out of that situation. That was such an amazing experience. Today, nobody can come and tell me that thinking positive doesn't work. It doesn't just start with thinking positive, it's the attitude, the whole attitude of a human being has to be positive for them to attract good results in their life. And I had that positive attitude. I lost it and I found it back. That makes a huge difference. And I'll give you a short example that happened to me myself. I remember, and that was the time when my attitude used to be very positive. I had already left the Philippines. I was staying there for about 8 years. I had left to come back to Mauritius, and I had to go back after a year to renew some papers. So when I went back, I didn't have any of my credit cards with me, nothing, everything had been canceled in the Philippines. So I just had cash. And I don't really like shopping. I don't fancy shopping so much. But I had to buy my kids clothes. I had two small children and I love the clothes in the Philippines. So I wanted to go and finish the shopping just in one day. I didn't have much time also. So I took about, I think, 20,000 with me, pesos, that currency, to go shopping. And my bill was definitely going above because I was like, God, I need this, I need that, I need all these things, two kids. And my sister in law was with me. She said, Did you bring enough money? I said, It'll come. I just said that. How I said it, even I don't know. But I just felt I needed to finish the shopping that day. That was my main concern. And guess what happens? At that night, we had a guest coming over for dinner. And suddenly, I see her at the cashier. I'm standing in one line at one cashier and she's at another cashier just next to us. And I'm like, isn't that the lady who's coming to our house for dinner? So my sister-in-law said, yeah. So I don't know. I just went to her with so much guts and courage, maybe. I said, hi, you're coming over for dinner later. If you don't mind, can I ask you for another? I don't know how much I asked her for more because to pay my bill because I've bought some things and I don't think it'll be enough. And since you're coming home later, I'll just return it to you once you come home. She gave it to me. She gave it to me because I was there with so much confidence that I'm going to get that money. You know, there was absolutely no evidence that that money was going to appear from how, but it did. And this is what I want to leave you with, that you don't have to know how things are going to happen. If you want something, go for it. Have the conviction that there is a higher power at work in all our lives and it will manifest it for you. It has to, it cannot go against its own nature. It gives you what you want, but you have to want it first and you have to believe, and then you will see it happening in your physical reality. So thank you very much for being here. I know I exceeded my time again. So I'll see you on Thursday. Bye bye. Thank you.